Alright, here we go back with another Rat Pack Classic. First game being streamed here by the Lions and the Vikings. 92 overall Lions going up against the 90 overall Vikings here. Should be a good one. Dank Smoker, the divisional winner from last year, so it should be interesting in a home battle on Thanksgiving Day. They got it a Sunday prime time, but we're on Thursday prime time right now, baby. So, best of luck to the divisional winners from last year, the Vikings. And let's see what the Lions can do. Last year, the Lions getting into the playoffs in a wild card spot, but getting blown out in the playoffs in a terrible loss to the Cowboys. Let's see how they do. As of right now, only a 2-win team. Not looking good to start the season, but a lot of season left to go. Still 10 games left to go. This is one of them right here. Let's see what happens. Hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. I know I definitely did. Got out, got some shopping done already. Can't wait for Black Friday tomorrow. Get some more shopping done. So just want to remind people here, let's try to have a good friendly game here, Lions and Vikings. No injuries. You got to play more people after this game, so we're up for a good, clean game. See who gets the ball first here in this matchup. I'm kind of hoping the Lions get the ball first. I want to see what they can do against these divisional leaders from last year. I want to see what they can do. Let's see what happens. And looks like it's going to be Vikings ball first, so D-Bag over here starting off on defense. Kickoff, probably touchback here. Let's see what happens. Ooh, and a kick out of bounds. How? That's my second commentator glitch now on a kick. I need to stop calling kicks. Apparently, I'm just screwing them up. There we go. A rare out of bounds kick by D-Bag here to start the game. Not quite sure what he was thinking on this one. Hopefully he didn't have too much turkey, not too tired on those joysticks today, because this might be a huge problem. Alright. Nice levels concept. Here we go. Throw to the outside. Flat route here, definitely complete 7 yards. Looking good to start it. That's what I like to see, some early short completions, get the confidence going of the quarterback, get the confidence of the team going. Try to take this defense out of their base defense, see what they're going to do. Now, with this Minnesota Vikings team here, Dalvin Cook, absolutely fantastic coming out of his rookie year. A couple years in now. Let's see how he handles it going up against this Detroit defense today. An audible here. Oh, and he switches to a run play and stuffed at the line. 0-yard gain on that play by Dalvin Cook here. Gonna have to have better production out of him today than that, but just barely getting started. So let's see how this continues. Long delay getting back up to the line here on this one. Defense really thinking about what they're coming out in. 3rd and 3, I wouldn't be surprised to see a blitz. Blitzing seems to be the packages on 3rd down in Madden 18. We do not see a blitz though. Full coverage. Oh, but rusher on the outside. And a terrible pass by Wentz on this one. And 4th down from the 47. I'd like to think that this punt here should put them in some good range. Let's see the punter's skills on this. See if he can get this within 20 yards. And a terrible on the accuracy on this punt. What's going to happen here? Has it the 15. He catches it. Oh, he's returning it. Oh, and stuffed right at the 19. Well, in this Turkey Day throwdown, so far we got 0-0. Vikings getting stuffed on their opening drive. Let's see what the Lions got to offer us now. All right, double drag routes underneath, completed. Completion of 6 yards. Let's get going. Once again, really like the slow play I'd like to get some completions going and see what happens with these QBs today. Now, it's my first time seeing these two teams. Not quite sure where their offensive and defensive strengths are as of right now. Oh, and a receiver wide open in the flat. Recovers from that stumble. Down at almost midfield after a huge gain here. A gain of 22 coming from Abdullah on this one. Great job, Abdullah. Alright, drop back to pass. Got some time to pass, and a completion to the wide receiver here. No, they're going to call that incomplete. Incomplete pass to the wide receiver there. Oh, he had it in his hands. The hit by the DB didn't seem that brutal there. Really surprised to see him drop it. This rivalry game here is not going to be the type of thing where this team can afford to drop passes that are caught like that. Let's see how this continues to develop here. Lions in a heavy close set here. Let's see what happens. Oh, and to the outside. Completed. 6-yard pass there. Good job. A couple times now he's hit the flat. I wonder if Minnesota's going to adjust on their defense and begin to hit the flats here. Seems to be a early problem on this Minnesota defense, just allowing the flats to get open. Some more drag routes underneath. He had a drag route more wide open. I guess he didn't really decide to look off his first read on this one. Nevertheless, first down Lions. So far, we haven't seen much coming from this ground game of these Lions. Seem to be dropping back to pass pretty much every time. And this would appear to be another pass at that empty backfield. Minnesota adjusts, but looks like they might have got caught in the middle of that audible. Oh, and a receiver open to the outside. Big hitter fumble, but the fumble's out of bounds. Lions catching a break on this one. Yeah, giving them that swing out of bounds. Wow, really lucky, really fortunate for these Lions here. Really could have had a huge gain that could have ended really terribly. Minnesota there had a couple guys right on the ball. Very lucky that fumbled out of bounds. So far, though, you got to enjoy the way these Lions are running down the field here. Oh, and there we go, an easy 7. Doesn't get much easier than that. Ebron here, just doing his best impersonation of Jordan Reed. Hey, there you go. Shout out to the Redskins. Gotta love him. Just a beautiful cut on this linebacker here. Nobody could stop him on the inside. Beautiful touchdown by the Lions. Capping off a nice drive downfield, and here we go with the missed extra point. Wow, so far these Lions guys not doing so good on the kick. And remember, they kicked the ball out of bounds to begin the game. And now we have a missed extra point here. So let's see if this continues to be an Achilles heel for the Lions today, because they're having trouble in their kicking game. This could really be crucial going down the stretch. See if Minnesota can get better production. Couple first downs on that last time, but then stifled right after midfield. So let's see if they can move the ball a little further down. They need to get themselves at least 3 points here. With that missed extra point by the Lions, really allowing Minnesota to stay in the game even with just a field goal. So got to be thinking, if you're the Vikings coach right now, points. Points. We need points. Tight end to the outside. Oh, and a broken tackle. With tackle by the safety on this one. Luckily, linebacker fast enough to stay on him. And that's a first down. 45-yard line. 30-yard completion for the tight end here. Great job by the tight end on that route. So far, it seems like both teams really utilizing that tight end out route. Should be interesting to see if somebody decides to change some coverage up. Maybe cover the flats a little bit in this game. RB route wide open. And he doesn't throw to him. Instead, we're on a QB sneak here. Oh! QB's ankles. Wentz just get taken out downfield after a 16-yard run. I'd like to hope that he knows how to hit that slide button on that, because that is dangerous territory, Madden 18. Big run, ended in a big fumble is what we're looking for, but Lions not getting the fumble on that one. Here we go. 1st and 10 from 28 here. See how this continues to go. Got the B route wide open. Decides to throw it late. And that late throw results in an interception on Carson Wentz. Terrible play call if you're the Carson Wentz, the Minnesota Vikings here. You got to think that route was open, and it was open early. Sliding to the right there, bootlegging out was just a terrible idea by Wentz. Allowed the DB enough time to get caught into the wide receiver in play for that interception. And now ball's going the other way. Let's not a handoff, play action. You got to think, can't even believe the play actions are going to work, considering we haven't ran the ball once. But completion downfield. All right, here we go now. 24 seconds left ticking in this clock here. And finally a handoff, run to the outside. Stopped in the line, but a nice broken tackle. Up to the 49, gain of 4 here. Gotta like what he did with that zone weak pass there. You know, in the Tampa 2, you'd like to be able to cover that, but depending on how you shift that line, just not a lot you can really do in that cover 2 when they go to run. So far, Vikings seem to be liking what they're doing here. Getting some stops. Midfield, 2nd and 6. Let's see what they can do here. They need a big stop. Lions so far taking it to last year's divisional winner. Lions only a 2-win team right now, looking for their 3rd win of the season, trying to get back to 500. Ooh, and an almost interception there. Terrible drop by the Minnesota Vikings. Really like to complete those interceptions. I mean, those are huge in this game. Seemed like the user alert was there. Got an animation, and then just a glitch on the animation. Absolutely nothing. Really sad to see. Babe! Get him. Pardon the interruption. Looks like we're back to coverage now. And here we go here. Vikings with a terrible interception last drive. And a first down, but getting stopped on their last drive before that. So let's see what we got here. Oh, stumble recovery, but not quick enough. It seems like he almost could have stumble recovered from that. Cut to the inside, it might have been gone, but stayed on the outside, gets himself tackled. Vikings there so far staying in coach suggestions. You gotta be curious to that. Is he not aware of the scheme that he wants to play against the Lions here? Is he still trying to figure out what's going to work and what's not? Stopped to 59 yards in that first quarter. Let's see if we can pick up their production in the second quarter. Vikings definitely needing a touchdown. Get the score back within honesty. RB route wide open, just deciding to take the flat in the last second. You know, if he would have had this flat route earlier than that, this guy could have been gone 30, 40 yards downfield. But waiting for those deep passes to develop, gotta hope he learns to dump off to this outside flat route, because apparently it's just not covering flats. Neither one of these defenses so far. Cook here getting stuffed on a 2-yard run. Really chose the wrong hole. Had a hole there to the left, but Instead, went to the right and stuffed after 2 yards. Looks like they're going to be sticking on the ground on this one with Dalvin Cook. See what happens on this outside. Looks to have the coverage. He likes the defense that he's facing. Oh! And a terrible choice to cut. Leads to an animation, stopping him a yard shy of the first down. He would have had it if he would have just fell forward, but instead fell for an animation. And terrible call on Dalvin Cook on that one. Looks to be a pass play, and it is. Quick route, almost intercepted. If he would have waited a second, looks like he had the tight end coming out of that cut route to the outside, but instead almost gets another interception going right over the middle of that slant. No one open. Throws it a triple coverage. Almost pays the price. Definitely gets lucky on that one. Yeah, giving a break to these Vikings so far. Let's see if D-back can capitalize. Bad kick here coming off the punter's foot. And doesn't matter. Actually, still enough time for the defense, for the kick coverage to get down there and get the tackle. A small gain of only a couple yards there. Let's see what D-bag and these Lions could do. Already up 6-0. Remember, this did not come from 2 field goals. This did come from a touchdown. So we've already seen them be able to get into the end zone once this game. Coming out in single back, single back tight slots. Let's see what they do with that. Ooh. Almost looked like a bench play there. I believe it was. Complete to the outside, and it was the bench swap. Here we go here. Lions in a trip tight end set over the single back. Let's see what happens. And the back getting stuffed in the backfield. So far, both these backs really liking to work out of the single back. Not being successful, huge for either one of them. Both between pick and holes, and they're just getting stuffed at the line. So, got to think maybe eventually they might start abandoning the run in this game since neither one of them could get it going. But I have to think for the Vikings, that's going to be a huge blow. Dalvin Cook, a big part of this offense. Not being able to get him going is definitely going to hurt. Here goes, and a terrible blown defensive coverage. Could have had the tackle a little earlier. Stumbled the wrong direction. Able to recover and still make the tackle, giving up a couple extra yards in the process. 2-minute warning here. First half almost coming to a close. Lions up 6-0, driving the ball on the 33-yard line right now. Already in field goal range, 1st and 10. Let's see if the Vikings can hold this Lions offense. They weren't able to do it earlier when they got down in this range. Let's see if they can do it again. Really needing a turnover here. Needing some form of an interception or a fumble recovery. Oh, and there it is. There is the pick that was needed. I don't know what that was. Looks like the receiver almost stopped on his route, or the QB thought he was doing something else. Looked like a terrible miscommunication between the two. Threw it right at him. I mean, you almost could have thought that was Carson Wentz dressed up in a Lions uniform doing his team a favor from the offensive side, but no. Stafford here just on a terrible throw. You have to think with throws like that, you might be shopping a guy at the end of the season. I mean, here almost in the red zone, up by 6 going into the half. You got to really hate that throw by Stafford there. Oh, and the blitz picked up by the play. Ooh, and still sacked in the backfield. Quentin Diggs on this one. A huge sack of 11 yards. Now, you got to think, if you're Minnesota on this one, I mean, are you not just going to kind of run the timeout down here a little bit? Seems like they're not going for the timeout or stopping the clock. Kind of surprised. Bad call on the Lions coach on this one to not give yourself a timeout. Allowing them to run this down to almost a minute before they snap the ball. I just think you really got to do a little bit better on the time management on that, considering you've been running it down their throat the entire first half so far. We're just in field goal range as it was. Let's see if the screenplay can get it off here. big gain on the screen play here. Almost enough for the first down. Stop shy. 3rd and 3 on this one, coming off that 2nd and 21. So beautiful game, but right there. And a blitz coming up the gut. Nothing. Oh, almost intercepted. Carson Wentz with a terrible pass to the tight end there. I mean, 4 verticals. Welcome back, Madden 2013. Like, people haven't seen that one before. 4 verticals just not working in the end there. You got to think, if you're Minnesota, you're going to have to start making some of these packages a little more interesting and different here. I mean, we're coming out in very basic stuff, doing very basic offensive plays here, so almost a good punt here, down at the 20, so we got a touchback. 53 seconds left for the Lions. Now, I think with 3 timeouts, you got to be a little aggressive on this. I'd have to watch out if I'm Minnesota's defense here. This is where big shots happen, is on this first play. Shows here, spread offense. And, you know, I mean, a completion of 6, but with this much time left on the clock and the 3 timeouts, you got to think you're looking for stuff a little further down the field than that. Beautiful completed pass, and here we go. Here is the timeout we were looking for. All right, driving the ball, 43 seconds left. They want to at least get themselves in field goal range, make this a 2-score game. Screen play seems to work so far. Both these teams really enjoying the screen. .35 seconds left. You have to think he almost might take a shot here, coming from the 50. Minnesota in cover 4 here. It doesn't look to be really doing any much on the coverage. Covers the flats on the underneath route and still gets the ball completed downfield to the 32. You have to call a timeout here. I don't agree with this call to rush it to the line here. And he's going to spike the ball. D-bag taking a pitcher out of the old CP playbook here and spiking the ball. 2nd and 10 from the 18 with 32 seconds left. I mean, this is almost where Minnesota had themselves last time and then allowed the terrible turnover to happen. So we'll see if the Lions can do a better job this time. And a huge run, but crushed up the gut. You know, he obviously must just be playing for the 9 points for halftime here. But remember, I mean, these Lions so far have missed an extra point and kicked it out of bounds on their own kickoff. Let's see what they do on this one. I'm not really too confident in this team's kicking game right now. I don't really think they are either. You'd have to think he's going to take another shot here. I mean, I don't agree with the call to just let the time go like that. He could have dropped back and thrown them towards the end zone. And this one is barely in. It is good, but we got a flag on the play. Ooh. Oh, holding. And he accepts it. I don't really know what's up with this call. This seems to be an interesting one here. Hasn't been the best kicker so far this game. Makes it in, and instead decides to take more yards instead of just taking the 3 points with the second left. Oh, and this is huge, and he misses it. He misses it. What a terrible call. And another penalty, roughing the kicker. You have got to hate yourself if you're Minnesota right now. No time left. They're going to get the extra play here. For 5 yards, you'd have to think he's going to make this one. Such a chip shot. Coming off the miss. Let's see what happens. And another miss! And it's another miss! Oh my goodness. 2 back-to-back misses coming off the field goal kicker here. This is the 3rd kick that's been missed in this area for him at this point. An extra point, now 2 field goals. I didn't think Minnesota was going to get the ice in there. You'd have to think after we've seen that first miss, you're not really going to rush the kicker. And it pays. He doesn't rush the kicker, doesn't get the field goal. Another miss. Telling you what, I think there's a team looking for a kicker in the free agency next week. It's going to be these Lions here. I don't think you can continue to have that kicker back there ruining your game like this. I mean, this is terrible here. 6-0, still just allowing Minnesota to stay in the game in a 1-possession game right now. I wasn't even going for any commentator jinx on this one. I was just going to leave it alone, but... Ooh, good defense here. Looked like you almost still caught it going to the ground, but still an incomplete pass. Good job of Minnesota defense. They've got to start doing something here as far as this defense, because their offense is doing nothing. Maybe this defense can get them some points. Maybe that's how they're going to get up on the scoreboard. You have to think with the way D-back's kicking game is here, all you basically got to do is score at this point if you're Minnesota. I mean, not keeping them, not allowing them to hit the end zone is basically your goal at this point. They can't kick a field goal to save their game, so let's see what happens. I don't know if anybody watched that Chargers-Cowboys game today, but watching these Lions kickers so far, and there it is, as we talked about it, and there it is, the pick 6, 5, touchdown. Good job, Minnesota. As I said, offense doing absolutely nothing. Defense needing a big stop here. Pick 6, and now we got a tie ball game. Let's see if Minnesota can do something Detroit can't, and that's kick the fucking ball. And he gets it off, and it's up through the middle, and good. And that's a lead for Minnesota. You know, they've had a terrible game offensively. Just as I got done saying they really need a defensive bailout, and Matt Stafford doing his best job as a Minnesota Viking so far. Might as well have put on a Minnesota Viking uniform today, because so far an interception in the red zone, not allowing the touchdown to happen there before half. Now this. Got to think if you're Minnesota, you might have to start blitzing a little bit, playing some flats, see if you can get this some of these quick passes. I mean, beautiful defense on that last play. Almost nothing they could have done about it. I mean, Detroit here with 194 yards versus Minnesota's 80. I mean, they're more than doubling them on production right now. Yet they're down on the scoreboard by a point due to that missed extra point. Not to mention the missed field goal going into half. These Detroit Lions are looking for a kicker next week. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I might even have to send them a kicker trade. Anything's better than what they got, apparently. Here we go. Detroit dropping back to pass. Passing downfield wide open. Receiver on this. Right underneath that safety there, just right in the shell of that cover 1. Gotta think you might have to leave that cover 1. I don't really know if these guys are strong enough on that man. You know, that play was just glitchy as can be on that one. Looked like anybody could have caught it. Of the 5 people there, yet nobody even makes an animation to a pass. I mean, I don't know what that was at this point. Way to go, Stafford and EA. Great job on that pass. Pass downfield, middle of the field, wide receiver wide open. You'd have to think these Vikings might have to start going into some cover 2 and dropping back a middle linebacker into some actual coverage. What they're doing right now, just not working, allowing themselves to get blown up 20, 25 yards downfield, middle of the field. All drive so far in this drive for the Lions. Going back to the single back, what is this, wing here. Throws to the flat receiver. Gain of 4 yards. Stuffed. Gotta expect Minnesota is going to be praying for a stop here. Anything to not allow him in the end zone. Nice sack here would be huge. No pressure coming off the line. DB swats down the ball in the receiver's hands. And we got ourselves a 3rd and 6 here. This should be interesting. We haven't seen Detroit good on the kick so far. Kicking kicks to start the game out of bounds. Couple missed field goals at our next missed extra point at this point. Lions so far left a lot of points on the field. And another incomplete pass. Now this is interesting territory here. I'm going to go out of a limb and say Detroit actually makes this field goal. They really need these points. I can't see them going for it here. You need to kick the field goal and go up 9-7, even though you've missed them. Let's see what we do here. Let's see what the play is. In the bottom, we got field goal set up. I think if you're Minnesota, you're not really feeling too nervous here. You've seen a bunch of misses so far. You might even call a timeout. Nice the kicker. And it's another shake. These Lions costing themselves the game so far. 7 points left on the field. A whole touchdown left on the field. Just to miss kicks right now. Minnesota really catching a break. Minnesota starting off on the 29 here. That's the thing, they just kind of want to run some timeout. Oh no. Levels concept deep downfield, 20 yards. Absolutely beautiful. 1st and 10 from the 44 for the Minnesota Vikings here. They can keep this going. This might be some good things for them. They getting in the end zone might be all that they need. Put themselves up by 8. I mean, 7 points already left on the field for the Lions. You're wondering how many more points they're going to leave out on the field. Here we go here, clutch territory. Let's see what happens. 1st and 10. Blitz up the middle, picked up, scrambling to the outside, throws the ball away under pressure. Inability to read that blitz pre-snap. Almost sent in the house at him. 7 guys running his way. Got to be able to find an open wide receiver in situations like that. Not running by Dalvin Cook. We got a tight end open. Here we go. Tight end open down the field. Wentz with a beautiful pass there. So far yet to get in the end zone for Wentz. Just the one INT. Let's see if he can change that fortune right now and get himself in the end zone. This offense yet to score points in this game. Pass completed about 12 yards downfield for the first down, feet in bounds. And more pressure coming up the middle by the Lions here, just exposing that backfield on single coverage man. I'm not a big fan of multiple man blitzes like that. You got to think he's going to do something a little different here. That man blitzing is not working out. Looks like they're about to leave the middle of the field wide open in this slant route. He should be open for days. And instead we run with the QB. Wentz getting hit, but hangs on to it. All right, going back in tight slots. Let's see what happens here. Oh, never mind. We're in juice close. Dual tight end out there. B on the underneath route. Cuts to the outside, picks up the block. Thielen, tiptoeing down the sidelines. 1st and goal from the 2. He had the space in front of him. He maybe could have reached out, but still yet in Madden 18, as many dumb animations as we have, we still don't have an animation of ball carriers reaching out close to the end zone to attempt to pick up a touchdown. I'm not even going to go there right now. I mean, I already went there, but what the fuck is that animation? That's all I'm saying. Need that damn animation. First downs, touchdowns, reaching the ball out, try to get the extra, but Ooh, dangerous play here by Carson Wentz. Throws it, batted down at the line, and just stumbled in between the linemen. We have a pause here. Depth chart switch up. What's going on? So in an interesting turn of events, second and goal from the 2, and we're setting who our punt and kick returners are in our depth chart. Even though you're not about to get the ball kicked to you, don't really know what that was. I don't know if you just needed a second to take a dab hit or something, but I don't know. Definitely a head scratcher on that one. I'm not really understanding the call. Paused it to switch something that literally is going to do no good. Went to the outside, double QB spy. Ooh, double QB spy coming in on one of those. And bad passes. Lucky it wasn't intercepted, throwing back to the inside of that receiver who was already on the outside of it. Dangerous play by Wentz. I'm really curious with Dalvin Cook on this team. First and goal from the 2. You would have thought you would have seen a heavy dose of Dalvin Cook 3 times in a row, but instead Carson Wentz to drop back to pass both times, and let's see what we get on this third one here. You'd like to think that once again we're going to try to run with Dalvin Cook. I'm not quite sure though. Let's see what happens here. I have to feel like a run with Dalvin is the right call, but see, here we go. Yard gained. You know, at this point, yeah, you better go for it. That's what I'm saying. What is he going to do? Drive 99 yards to miss another field goal? I think you got a good shot here. Minnesota, pitch to the outside. Ooh, and he is stuffed at the 1, and that is a turnover on downs. Huge. Playing out that scenario, they get the field goal there and go up 10-6. That might be huge because Detroit cannot make a kick at this point in the game right now. 10-12 leaves them just a field goal to win the game. I mean, a field goal there and one more field goal, and they're basically locked up. Hopefully they get the safety here. Instead, no, huge pass completed, 26 yards downfield to the wide receiver. Matthew Stafford having a decent game so far with 258 yards completed in this game. Still wish I got to see these teams play more, so I had a little more commentary hit points to be able to talk about, some things to be able to talk about previous matchups. Not quite sure the previous matchups for these teams. Do know that Detroit does need to move themselves into a position where they score a touchdown. They can't afford to stop themselves short, needing a field goal to win. So far, it has yet to work out for them on any field goals, extra points, so you'd have to think Minnesota knows this too, and their whole goal at this point is almost play quarter man 3 deep, just trying to prevent the touchdown. Keep them out of the end zone in 5 minutes, and you probably win the game, man. They're not going to make the field goal to win the game at this point. I don't know who the kicker is, but very disappointing so far in these lines. Right. Got to drop back to pass, tons of time. Throws into double coverage in the middle of the field downfield. Safety comes across with a nice clean hit to make sure the completion does not go through. Terrible read by Stafford on this one. I mean, these Lions have done everything they needed to do in this game. They have shut Minnesota down, stifled them on offense, completely goosed them. Only had but a couple first downs, not been able to do anything, not even put themselves in scoring position. And they still find themselves down by 1 on the scoreboard here. Oh, completed pass, here we go. Oh, blown coverage by Minnesota. And this is what they did not need to happen, a touchdown here. You know, you have to think with Minnesota here, this is where you start getting into it. I mean, kicking that field goal would have been huge there. You're Detroit, I mean, I think you have to go for the 2. You haven't been able to make the extra points and the field goals and anything. Here we go, starting off with the 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, and tight end set here. What are we in? Gun split close? Is that what we're in here? Setting up to look like a run. What's going on? Runs it up the gut, and he is stopped. He is stopped short. This is interesting here. If Minnesota could find a way to get in the end zone here, they've got themselves a lock. Minnesota here, only 150 total yards in this game. Let's see if they can move the ball here. They need to move the ball and get in the end zone. Decision to go for it on 4th and 1 last time really cost them. Stafford and the line shoving it right back down their throat. Really beautiful pass completed downfield here. Not quite sure what defensive formation that was going back to the line, but defense almost looks like they were caught in between a man and zone. Nobody was doing anything I would have thought a DB should have been doing in that position. Stumble recovery here. Cook cutting back up, getting himself a first down at the 37 within field goal range. Now this is where going for it on 4th and 1 hurts him last time. This right here would have put them in tying. It would have put them in range to be up by 1 already at this point, but instead down by 5, needing a touchdown, they get the lead back. Gets the guy on the outside in the post route, and that is a touchdown from Stephon Diggs. Beautiful completion in the touchdown here. Vikings going up, being stifled all game on offense. Not finally getting their first points on offense until 4:57 left in this 4th quarter. You know, it's not that it's better late than never. They're just happy to have it at this point. You know, even though they're going for it for 2 here, I'm not really seeing it make much of a difference. I mean, Detroit can't really make a field goal, so this is going to come down to them being able to get back in the end zone or not. And it's completed. The 2-point is good. Oh my goodness. Stephon Diggs doing his best to do double duty on this one. Getting the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Terrible kick here. I don't even want to look. Oh, that's terrible looking. All potential in the world to return this. Ooh. Do not know what kick return coverage he called. It must have been that everyone run to the bench when I touch it. Because nobody there but Minnesota Vikings after what I would consider to be a terrible kick. That hurts so bad. Minnesota with a 3-point lead there. And the Lions, once again, Stafford doing his best job to dress up in a Minnesota Vikings uniform there. I mean, just threw it right at the defender and just nothing on that. That hurts. Oh, that hurts. How do you miss it? How do you miss that? So far, a couple animations for these Minnesota Vikings not going their way on interceptions. This might not even be this close of a game at this point. Lions need 3 points to get the win here. Is that a completion? And he hangs on to it. Good job here. 338 yards by Stafford in this game, yet still down by 3, 4:35 left. Clock ticking here in the 4th. Pass completed to the tight end. Completed downfield into double coverage. Just threads the needle on that one. Here we go. Lions rushing to the outside. Cuts it back up the inside. Abdullah doing a good job here, getting some extra yards. 2nd and 1. And that's it. Kirk Cousins just threw a touchdown pass. Touchdown. Redskins, baby. Getting themselves a lead. That's what's up. That's what I wanted to see on this Thanksgiving. Beating somebody we need to beat in the division. Game's still far from over. Unlike this one, 2:46, Lions driving the ball down the field here, 2nd and 1. DB's dropping back real deep on this. And just right inside that shell. The user getting picked on, the safety not there in time. This is absolutely terrible. Minnesota. Been able to get some stops all game except for on this drive. Not able to do what they need to. You have to think, confidence of just getting the stops here within 7 yards. It's really all they need because field goal attempts are just not being successful for this team as of right now. Screen pass here blown up. Here we go, 2nd and goal from the 7. This is huge. Does Detroit have it in them to punch the ball in the end zone? Do they have it in them to tie it up with a field goal if they actually need to? I don't know if these two are playing off some Walmart and McDonald's stolen Wi-Fi, but I mean, this is terrible right now. Lions stop and drop back to pass here. Pass over the center, and that's a touchdown. Putting the pressure on the Minnesota Vikings here. This is the biggest extra point of the Detroit Lions game here. Taking this from a field goal game to a full point game here is going to be huge. Let's see what happens. And a missed extra point. You have got to be kidding me. If you are the Lions right now, what are you doing? Are you just putting the controller down and hitting A once and letting whatever happens in fate land? I'm just not understanding what's going on with these Lions and their inability to kick the ball right now, but it's lucky he even made that one downfield. Detroit need to do what they've done most of this game. Stop Minnesota Vikings. They've not really been able to drive the ball or do very much aside from that last drive, finally getting their first offensive production of the game. These Vikings so far, quite disappointing. Not relying on Dalvin Cook how we expected them to. Thielen been an absolute ghost in this game. Really just cycled Briggs in the 2 plays last game between the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Certainly offensive production this team's seen all day. And a nano blitz right up the zero got there. Just nothing he can do. He came in screaming. Here we go here. 4 verticals. Going old school style. Let's see if it works. And it doesn't work. That is another sack. 3rd and 23. This is the game right here. Minnesota just doing their best to make sure they don't call a timeout. RB route's open on the inside part of it. He gets him. Ooh, and that's a completed pass downfield down to the 37 minute 12 left. You have to call a timeout here for Minnesota, I'd like to think. does not hang on to the pass there. Second down, second and 10. 51 seconds left and 3 timeouts. Only needing a field goal to tie it. You have to think that they're going to play this a little conservative. You'd have to think so. That pass there was not a conservative pass. Lions very easily could have picked that off if it wasn't the perfectly incompleted pass to the outside there. Oh, these Vikings going to be heartbreaking this game so far. 4 Verts again. Hasn't been successful for him really in this game so far. I don't know what animation that was, but 2 DBs behind it, a DB in front of it, tight end in the middle, and just nothing. Just absolutely nothing. I don't know what happened there. I don't know why we're so obsessed with 4 Verts when it's not working for you so far. Minnesota needing a huge third down completion here. Going for the screenplay. I wonder if they ought to go out. Looks like they do into a 4 Verts going the other way. Let's see what happens. And a sack. This is a huge sack. Minnesota with no sense of urgency here. It's like they've given up on the game with 30 seconds left. I'd like to think you'd have a call more of some sense of urgency of rushing guys to the line, calling a timeout, doing something. Detroit having a terrible game on the special team end of this ball. Getting bailed out by some really lackluster defense by Minnesota on these final drives here. Here we go, 4 Verts again. It's been the name of the game so far. RB open again, and he gets lurked. And that's a pick. And that's pretty much going to wrap this up here. 17 seconds left. Most they can do is get 3 timeouts, get the ball back with a second left, and do nothing. Lose the game. Detroit running the ball out here. Minnesota realizing their fate. They're just going to let this tick away. Heck of a game here by these Detroit Lions today, stifling Minnesota to just the 8 points on offense. Aside for that pick 6, these Minnesota Vikings are really not in this game at any point. All of the terrible special teams blunders by the Lions allowed Minnesota to feel in the game this whole game, but in the end, the scoreboard shows probably what it should have been to begin with. All the points left out on the field by the Lions are not going to matter. They're just going to be a story point to talk about when people go back and watch this video. But Lions here pulling off a huge upset on the road, 18-15, after outscoring their opponent in the fourth quarter by 4 points, doing what they need to for the 3-point victory there. Gotta think if you're Minnesota, really disappointed in yourself not being able to capitalize on all the special teams blunders and points left on the field. But there you have it. There is a wrap-up of the Minnesota Vikings and Detroit Lions Turkey Day Throwdown here. Another Rat Pack Classic being brought to you by Rando Helper. Oh, and look at those 31 rushing yards. These two teams combined for 57 yards on the ground. You'd have to think somebody's going to try something else next game because this just didn't work. Thanks for coming in today, guys. Thanks for watching this. Catch y'all in the next game.